But it's our world, not anymore.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Tammy Morrison, and I'm coming on here tonight because I wanted to talk about your journey to transformation. So, I did a transformation today. I chop. And it was actually a beautiful experience. I haven't done that in quite a few years. I think it's probably been about 10 or 12. Yeah, about 12, 10 or 12. And so today I decided that it was time for me to make a shift and a transformation. Have you ever felt that way yourself? That you were at a space where you needed to make a shift or transition? So that is the space that I found myself in. I needed to make a change. I need to do something different. Um, and that has happened actually for me in many areas of my life. That actually happened to me career wise because it was time for me to get out of that thing I was doing. It was time for me to leave that, and I had to just do some shifts. And I'm doing actually some more shifts because I'm actually still working to get some people together so we can get this book done, because I really want to get this book done about our grandmothers. So if that is something that you have a grandmother story that just lights your heart and you want to share it, then reach out to me and let's get you signed up for this book project because it's going to be phenomenal. I call it Passing the Pearls. Hey, Angie, thank you for joining me. Um, but I wanted to talk about these shifts that are happening. And right now, today, we are in the summer solstice. And I need to turn the light on. Hold on. I thought it was enough light, but apparently not. Okay. Maybe that's a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. Because it's still light here. So I thought that it would be enough outside light. The windows, the blinds are up and that kind of thing. Matter of fact, they're broke, but who's counting? But so it's summer solstice. And so what I was doing actually at this very moment, I was writing in my notebook new beginnings right now because this is half of the year is gone, and so now we're embarking onto the other half of the year. And so what I started doing was, and I saw this, I can't even take credit for it, so I'm going to. It was a sister that I saw on TikTok, and I don't know her name. I apologize, but she's on TikTok and she's talking about um, setting clear intentions. And so she shared that this book that we can start, where you put your affirmations, you put song lyrics, keywords that mean something to you, and then you journal in it. And so that is something that I started just right now, writing my affirmations. And I'm going to continue with that. And I'm going to make it a habit so that I can do it daily because I know that it's a help for everything that we deal with and all the shifts that are happening right now. And so that is what is going on now, is there are shifts happening behind the scenes that we don't even know what's going on. Because if you look at so many things that are happening in the world, you look at all the different things, the disasters that are happening, you look at all of these shootings and stuff that people are doing, you look at all of the stuff that is just craziness, you look at so many homeless people and so many people that are having, other issues in the world. And so you look at that and you wonder what is really going on in our world. And so for me, being a divine channel and actually owning that, which is what my teacher just told me today in my class. She was like, you got to own it. And so that is what I'm here to do, is to own it and to listen to the truth and hear the truth and actually give it out as it needs to be. And so as I started looking at all of the things, and I started realizing that, I love spiritual healing. So I want to give you a little definition that I found on it. So for spiritual healing, it's the channeling of healing energy or prana from its spiritual source to someone requesting it. The healing energy comes through the healer from a higher source, universal consciousness, infinite universal energy source, or God, and not directly from the healer. So basically, we're a channel, we're a conduit for energy to run through us to the other person. So some of the methods of healing, and this is from metaphysical, because I don't know if y'all know, but I just completed my bachelor's degree in metaphysics, and I'm working now on my master's. So methods of the healing can include spiritual mind healing, which is something that I do. Absent healing to me, which means distance healing, and I do that as well. Passing over of the hands and more, and laying hands is also another way of healing. Um, Metaphysical treatments can complement medical treatment, which is what we need right now in the world. And it's actually happening. It's already started happening overseas, like in the UK and Korea and China, some of the Asian countries, Japan. They've been into that forever. They've been doing acupuncture and all of these other alternative therapies and stuff over there. And so they actually are having energy healers in the operating rooms and working in the hospitals, because it helps people to heal better. It gives you that certain amount of peace that helps you to heal better. And it's like you can use it in conjunction, which is how it should be used. It should be used holistically. And so that is one of the things that I absolutely geek out on. I'm telling y'all I do. I geek out on it. I do. I absolutely love, even talking about energy healing. So I was kind of thinking about that in this frame of transformation, because I know that it's time for that. And the thing is if you think about it, all the things that are going on, the housing market, that's another thing, the housing market. We are due for a freaking crash is what we're due for, really. You think about how things are going. You look at the price of the gas, you look at all kinds of things that are happening in the planet. And if you start really considering and thinking about how things are moving, something has to change. Shift is here and it has to come. Transformation is here. And so the messages that I've received from my guides is that it is time. So basically, it's time for you to get your stuff together. And y'all know I would say get your shit together, because that actually was a session that I had. It's called Get Your Shit Together, and basically that's what my guides are saying to us. It's like, get your shit together, because things are rapidly moving and things are about to happen for us. It's like the people that are out here in the light, and the people that are out here helping to transform and heal the planet, like we are, like so many of us. I am, Angie is, and they're helping to heal the planet. Things are shifting and everything is working out for you. And so that is something that I absolutely love to embrace and embody. And so when my guys started speaking to me and saying that, and I started channeling divine messages coming through for me, that everything was working out for me, and that all the things that I desired, because I have been doing the work. I've been doing, I've been studying, and I've been spending time with spirit and being real quiet, because sometimes, y'all, when we are at a point of transformation, we need to shut up. We need to be quiet and listen. And sometimes it's difficult for a lot of people to do. Sometimes you feel like you have to keep talking. And then the other part to that too is, y'all, sometimes you talk to the wrong people. Sometimes the people that you talk to are not the ones that you should be talking to. You should be talking to people that have like minds. because what happens a lot of times is you talk to negative people about your dreams and the things that that God is doing in your life and the things that you are desiring, and then they start shooting it down and they start telling you, because what it is they are talking to you based on how they believe. It has nothing to do with you and your dreams and your desires. It has everything to do with how they believe. So they believe something based on something that might have happened to them in their history. But that shit ain't got nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with you. You stay here. If you have to put blinders on like the horse and stay here, right here in this space inside of you. You might have to shut people down. It might be time for you to shut people down in your life and don't let them run rampant with their negative attitudes in your life, because you have the power. You can actually do that, but you have to decide that you have the power, and you have to know that it's within you, and you have to recognize and trust the Holy Spirit, trust your angels, trust your guides. Trust God's source universe. Trust. And know that, if you feel like something has been taken away from you, know that it's just in circulation. It's coming back, just like the money. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about too with that is I decided to start writing letters to money. Money as an entity. Okay. So money as a person. So I started writing letters to money and having conversations with money, because that is what the currency that we use in this particular world now. I can't go and do no whole bunch of bartering unless that's a system that is set up, in that space, because there are places where you barter, but it's not everywhere. You can't go in Safeway and barter. You got to take some money or a credit card or, something, money order, whatever, coins, but you got to take some money, and so I started writing a letter to money and actually asking it, to come to me. I started appreciating it. I started showing it gratitude. I started telling it, how I appreciated it when it showed up for me at this time when I felt like it wasn't going to. I was so scared and I was so broke at this time, and I didn't know where the money was going to show up for me. Even though I've been on this mission. Yes, absolutely. Angie said, I agree. Things are shifting quickly and the repulse are under our feet are nonstop moving. Yes, it's crazy, but this is how this is, and it's wild how, society tries to get us to look over here and look at all, so many things, and look at this and look at that. Really, it's distractions. It's distractions from distracting you from going inward, because that's what time it is, y'all. And that is why we are in this huge transformation. But it's time for us to go within and not without. It's time for us to stop fighting with people about, their limiting beliefs and all this stuff. If they want to hold on to them, fucking let them. Let them hold on to them if that's what they want to do. But that ain't got nothing to do with you. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself a journal. All right. I got this one from the Dollar Tree. Okay. Or the $1.25 tree now. I got this from the $1.25 tree along with the pen. So I could write, for the summer solstice and write down my affirmations and the things that I desire. And so what this beautiful young lady said to do was to get this notebook and to write down your affirmations, write down some song lyrics that you like, because like I love, y'all know by now, if you watch me enough, I love to sing. I love to sing, and I'm actually pretty damn good at it too. But I do. And so there are songs that play in my head all the time. Even when I do readings, songs play in my head for the people that I'm reading. Sometimes movies pop up. Sometimes, like I was explaining to somebody that, I saw them, going here and there, and she looked like Alice in Wonderland to me. And so this is how I get my guidance a lot of time, probably because I love movies and I watch them all the time. Like I'm right here right now. I was just watching Charmed because I really like that little show. And I like magical shows, but anyway, I like it. So I was watching that. I watched what was the name of that thing? The Portable Door. I think I did that right on Monday. I think it was Monday. The Portable Door. Y'all, that was so cute. It was the cutest little movie. It was so magical. It reminded me of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So anyway, I geek out on those things. But as we are moving in this space, y'all, I'm telling you, begin to really start focusing on your desires and what it is that you want at this time. Start focusing on that and start really diving inside, really going inside, regardless of, what church you go to, because I'm not rolling with any of that. I don't do religion at all. I am simply a God girl. I have read the Bible many, many, many times. I think I did the read the Bible in a year with a couple of churches I went to. We were spoon fed the Bible because my grandmother was a pastor, preacher, teacher, evangelist, prophetess type. And so, when we start to shift and we start to move, then you have to start taking accountability, for yourself and for the things that you say. And that's one thing that I've really been diving into and deciding to really pay attention to that, because sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just say stuff out our mouth and we don't realize that our tongue can create, is a creator. You can create death or life in the power of your tongue. So if you can create death and life, then you can create anything else. So what we want to do at this time is we want to begin to start speaking life over ourselves and our body and our situations. We want to start speaking life over our money, and I would encourage you to write a letter to money. Write a letter, and not just one, because I try to write a letter to money almost every day. I don't succeed every day, but I do attempt. I do intend. I set that intention. And that's another thing. We set intentions because that's a big buzzword right now in the spiritual community. Everybody's setting intentions and you set intentions. And you know what? Setting intentions is amazing. And that is what we should do. We should set intentions all the time. However, we do also have to have inspired action. And that is another thing, because a lot of times people will listen to this spirituality stuff and they'll listen to Abraham Hicks and they'll listen to different ones, and if you're not careful, you'll fall into this trap where you'll just be meditating all day and you won't be doing nothing. But the point of meditation and prayer is getting the answers that you require from God, source, universe, your spiritual team, and taking inspired action. And inspired action looks different for different people, for different situations, but it still requires some action. You know what I mean? Sometimes the inspired action is going to the store and meeting somebody. Sometimes the inspired action is doing whatever it is that you do on a daily basis, but being open to the magic that can show up in your life. And that is so important. That is so important. I think it's like so huge. It's like being open to the magic that can show up in your life. And I think it's important to expect that every day. And I did a video on the law of expectation. And once I studied that and I learned that was amazing to learn, because the law of expectation says that when you expect something, it'll show up. It's that simple, y'all. People want to make it into this huge thing, but it's that simple. It's like when you expect something, then it shows up. Once you get yourself in the frequency of the expectation, that is the key, the frequency. Because one thing about it, Neville Goddard says that the feeling is the secret. And you know what's wild? I never really understood what that was talking about when I first heard it. Y'all, I was like, what does that even mean? So if I feel broke, I'm broke. If I feel wealthy, I'm wealthy. Well, where's my damn money? And Abraham Hicks always says, everything's in the vortex. And it's funny because I talked to my mama, and that was what she said to me one day. I said, well, you know what? I'm looking for this, that, and the third, something, something, something. And she said, well, it's already in your vortex. just like that, in that soft, sweet voice that she has. It's already in your vortex. And I thought, I hear you, but I need it to be in the bank. Or I need to be able to pay this particular thing, this thing. I need it here. I don't need it in the vortex. I mean, that's good. I'm grateful that it's in the vortex, but I need it from the vortex to the bank. But right. Show me the money. Exactly. And that's where we are. So what I want to say to you is that make sure that you are diving deep into yourself, because this is that season. This is the summer solstice. And y'all know what? Let me pull it up and I'm going to read what the summer solstice is, because I know a lot of people don't know what the solstice is. And to be honest, I didn't know either until somebody was telling me about it. I was like, okay, all right. I never really knew, because when I think about it now, they told us all that stuff was of the devil. So, I was like, I wasn't trying to be of the devil. So the summer solstice is in the northern hemisphere. The 2023 summer solstice begins on Wednesday, June 21st. The summer solstice is also the longest. Oh my God. So it ain't going to get dark till 10 o'clock. The longest day of the year. And if you look carefully, you can almost tell on this day, which occurs at the start of both summer, the sun reaches its highest point in the sky. So typically it is a day of setting your intentions, a day of manifesting. We want to write affirmations, not on this day, but to be honest, I feel like this should be a ritual or a thing that a part of our devotion. That's what I say, a part of our devotion. So if you get up in the morning and you meditate and you pray, and you set your intentions and you say your affirmations and all these things, I truly believe that this should be a part of it. Like every day, just say what you mean, say what you want, say what you desire, and some words I feel like we should just take out of our vocabulary, like want. So I really pull back from that, and I say, desire, because I like that word and I think it's a beautiful word. And it sounds so much better, because to me, want makes you feel like you don't have, you know what I mean? And so you don't want that. Something I learned earlier in maybe last week was a friend of mine was telling me about the 369. So with 369, for 3 days, you write something 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. And so you write that for 3 days, and you write what it is that you desire, but you write it like this. So like I desired $1 million. So I say, I don't want $1 million because I already have it. Or I don't want to be a millionaire because I already am one. However you say it. Basically, you're saying, I don't want it because I already have it. So I don't need it. It's already here. So basically, you're calling it out and pulling it out of the vortex. You are showing the money, or whatever it is you desire, because I do it for different things. But I think that's a really good tool. And it helps me. That's what I saw, because I actually asked somebody about, like the reasoning behind it and all that stuff. And they had some different reasonings, but it didn't really make sense to me. So I just said, okay, I understand. Once after I write that thing 3 times, and then I write it 6 times, and then when I write it 9 times, I believe it. It helps to shift your beliefs. And the same thing with affirmations. And so with affirmations, whatever it is that you desire to be, if you desire to be a criminal investigator, or if you desire to be, or whatever, whatever it is that you desire to be. But if you desire to be that thing, then already speak it out and call yourself that. You know what I mean? Like I say every day that I'm a metaphysician because I know that I am. I know that I am. So I say that every day. That is a part of my affirmations and my devotion. And I also want to encourage you to begin a devotion practice if you don't already have one. So you want to meditate and you want to, and then the thing is too now, I'm gonna put this out there because I was just talking on Facebook Live with my Ebony and Ivory co-partner about meditation. And so I said, because she said she doesn't do affirmations, and I said, why not? I do them, and pretty much everybody does them. But I do ones that are pertinent to me. Like I do always say everything is always working out for me, because that is an affirmation for me. But I also created my own affirmations, particular to what it is that I desire. And so we were talking about that, and she said she doesn't do affirmations. And I was like, why not? I didn't used to do them, but I picked them up because I know they work and it works for me. And it helps to shift my awareness. It helps to shift the frequencies within me. It helps to open up the light for me. And so that is what I do. But also, we talked about meditation. And so the thing about meditation, y'all, is that you can do it in different ways. I'm not a twig, so I can't be sitting on the floor cross-legged and all that stuff. Plus, I have worked in the medical field for 30 years, lifting and dragging and pulling on people. So my back ain't going to do all of that all the time. So I don't even do that. So if I meditate, typically I meditate in the bed. Sometimes I meditate in the tub. Sometimes I meditate while washing dishes. Sometimes I meditate while cleaning. There are all kind of ways that you can meditate. So don't let people stop you in trying to be so legalistic in how you do things, because it's all about energy and intention. So it has nothing to do with all of these different rules and these rituals and all this stuff that people say, oh, you have to do it with a blush, blah, blah, blah. You got to do it with a white candle, or you got to light a green candle, or you got to write with a green pen, or but you can write with whatever the hell you want to. And what I did was, the lady said that we should get a green pen. Well, there were no green pens at the Dollar Tree, and I wasn't going to run around town looking for a damn green pen, because those are like not easy to find. And so, and I wasn't trying to, pay $5 for a green pen. So I found a purple one, and I set the intention that it would perform as the green. So you can actually do that as well. And then there are so many of the different laws. Like, I love the law of assumption in metaphysics, y'all. That is so amazing, because what the law of assumption says is that if you assume a thing is true, then it is true. Simple, period. It's true for you. You assume a thing is true, it's true for you. And these are things that I've learned over this last year, and I've used them also, and that's one of the things I truly, honestly don't talk about stuff that if I have not tried it. I don't share like that unless I say, I've read about this and studied this, but I haven't tried it. But I have tried that. I've tried the law of assumption. We were talking about the law of revision, which is awesome and amazing. Neville Goddard talks about that one quite regularly. And so he shares that when you doing the law of revision, basically you want to go back in your mind and you want to visualize a situation that happened in the past. And it could be even way back, because people were going back and revising like stuff that happened, like slavery and things like that. I mean, it was just quite interesting how that can work. And so you can go back and revise a situation, and it's so many different things. You can do it with something that's not so far back, like say something that happened yesterday, go back and revise it and say, no, that's not how that happened, and just do it in your mind, and also trust the source, trust the universe, trust God, trust your higher self, just trust. But I'm just so grateful, for this time and space. I'm so grateful, even with everything that is going on out here in the planet. I feel protected, and I feel loved, and I feel guided. And so to me, I mean, I don't want to sound crass or anything, but I don't really care. You know what I mean? I have to stay on this journey where I am, dive deep inside of me and embrace the God that lives here. Embrace him, her, or them, however you think of them. I always love to talk about my team. and I'm talking about my spiritual team. So it's important. I want to wrap up. It's important in this time of transformation because that is where we are. We are in a period of transformation. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody who does. Because that is where we are. We're in this period of transformation. A period of healing. Period of time. So that is where we are, and that is about all I have for you guys. I absolutely love coming in here. But here's another thing too I wanted to share. I have a podcast, Straight Outta Savannah. Angie has been on it as well. That was amazing. It was a good show too. All the shows are amazing, y'all. I love it because I was born to do it. I'm supposed to be doing that. Because I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. So when I was a little girl, the way they used to punish me, was I wasn't a child that got beat often because I wasn't that kid that, whatever they told me to do, pretty much I did it because I didn't like to get beat. But they would punish me by sending me to my room and telling me not to talk because I just love to talk. And I was the only child at that point. So, I didn't really have anybody else to talk to, but my mama and, so anyway, yeah, so I was born to do this. So I am actually girl, just name the time. We can do live. I'll be alive tomorrow. You want to do tomorrow? Let me know. We can work it out. But I absolutely love, doing this. And so but my show is just so amazing. It's on this channel on YouTube, and it's also on Spotify, Anchor FM, Google, Apple, Radio Now, Listen Now, Radio Breaker, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify. It's everywhere. Podbean or Podcorn or something like that. Anyway, it's on all the platforms where you can listen to it. The basic podcast platforms. So I'm actually so proud of it, and I'm wanting to grow it. So if you haven't listened, go listen and check it out and subscribe or download or whatever you do in order to do the podcast stuff. And then make sure that if you're watching me on YouTube, that you subscribe and that you like and you share, because there are many people that need to hear this content that I'm putting out. And I know that everybody hasn't heard it that needs to hear it. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't be on here talking. So anyhow, I'm super grateful to be on here today. I will be back on tomorrow because tomorrow is when I do my regular Thursday lives. But I'll be back on tomorrow, probably sometime in the evening. Might be around, I don't know, might not be this late. I'm not sure. But yeah, because I have a 4:00 something I have to do. I had to think about it. But yeah, so I'll be back on tomorrow. I would love to entertain, whatever. But just know that this is a time and a period of transformation and shift. That is the spirit that we are in. Now, I do not do astrology, so I wouldn't be able to comment on that. I'm a basic astrology person. Like, I know what my sun sign is and my moon. My sun is in Scorpio and my moon is in Pisces. And I think my rising is in Leo. So I know about those, but that's really about it. I just don't know it. And I know what it is. Like I said, I know I had this religious block because, in the church, they told us all that stuff was of the devil. And I was not trying to be of the devil because I was always trying to be of the light. And so that's a block I know that I have been working through just so that I can learn some things, in that area, especially with astrology and numerology, because that is, I love talking about those numbers. And what's wild is I actually was almost a math major. I almost went to school for math. I almost went and got my college degree in math because I like math like that. till I got to calculus 2. I actually did really well in it, but it was more of a struggle. But after that, you moved on to something else anyway. But anyway, so the numerology called to me too. I love listening to that stuff. I'm actually trying to get a numerologist on the show. Another one. I actually had one. Dr. Craig Wright was on my show twice actually, and he was amazing. He's a numerologist. I loved interviewing him. He was great, and he is so knowledgeable and such a kind-hearted man. So if you haven't seen that show, make sure that you check it out. And what I'll do is I'll tag it into this show when I finish. That way you can just click on it and it'll go to it. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe and that you share and you like this video and share it out to people that need to hear it. I would appreciate it. And if you are on Facebook and you want to join me in my group, the Healing Circle, that would be lovely. Join me on that. I also have this book that I'm putting out, Passing the Pearls, and it's a grandmother story. So really, I wanted to honor our grandmothers because mine was phenomenal and amazing. And so I wanted to write a story to share about her. And I decided to invite other people in so it could be a collaboration, anthology. And so I'm looking for people to come, 5 to 6 more people to join us in sharing our grandmother stories. So I'm super excited about that. I would love to have that thing published before the end of the year. That is my goal. So if you are interested in that, reach out to me and let's have a conversation and see if it's something that, you want to do, because it's going to be a bestseller, because I'm going to make sure that it does that, and we're going to get this out into the world so that, we can have some positivity out here, because there's so much negativity going on. And then I also have I have 2 ebooks. I have two ebooks. I have 2 ebooks. One is on cultivating your intuition in business. The other one is on DNA activation, demystifying DNA activation, which is another thing that I do. That's my jam. I love to do that. So I am activating DNA. If that is something that you have been hearing about and that you're chomping at the bits to get, then make sure that you send me a message or comment on the video, and I'll come back and reach out to you. We can do the thing. Or you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, all under Tammy Morrison. My business page on Facebook is Unleashing Your True Self, which I don't really go on that much, but I'm going to work that out. But my Facebook Messenger is where you can reach me easily. TikTok also easily. Instagram, not so much. But if you tell me that you're sending me a message on Instagram, I'll go look. That is how that works for me. Because, yeah, I only go where I'm celebrated and not where I'm tolerated. So, again, summer solstice, get yourself a journal, write down your affirmations, write down your key words that mean something to you, song lyrics that mean something to you, and then I would suggest that you journal after you finish writing all of that. But make sure that you're doing that and see if you can start a practice, to do it every day, because it's going to help you in your life to shift things. Because what happens when you write, this is something that I know, but what happens when you write is things begin to shift for you. Especially like I started doing morning pages, and I haven't been consistent every single day with it, but I have done it. The morning pages, the days that I do the morning pages, seem like I get so much accomplished, right? I get so much accomplished. It's like, okay, I sit down, because what morning pages does is it frees your mind. You write down all the things that are running around in your head, when you wake up, because a lot of times, you'll have all these things running around in your head, and usually it's shit that was running around in your head before you went to bed. And so you want to sit down and write all that stuff out and just get it out of your head so that you're not thinking about it all day long, so that you can consciously manifest and focus on what you desire and not what you don't. Because many times what we do is we focus on what we don't want. And that's absolutely wrong. I mean, that's like totally underneath the ground wrong. You need to focus on what it is that you desire, because here's the thing. The law of attraction works. People will say, oh, the law of attraction don't work. Yeah, it do. When you focus on what you don't want, then you get more of what you don't want. But when you begin to focus on what you want or what you desire, then you will begin to get the things that you desire. Now, of course, it is not an overnight process. Let me just go ahead and say that, because I have had people reach out to me and say the dumbest stuff, like, I did that. I meditated, or I prayed and I asked God, for some money, or I spoke out that I was wealthy, and 20 minutes later, I still ain't got no money. That kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, because here's the thing. You thought in that negative way, in those negative ways, for how many decades or how many years? How many years? And so you expect for it to shift in 1 minute? Now it can, but it doesn't typically. To me, it's like weight loss. You've been 250 pounds for 20 years. And now you start losing weight and you expect to be 150 pounds in 20 minutes. And that is just not realistic. It's not going to happen. Even if you have surgery, you still have to do some work. You still got to exercise. You still got to watch what you eat or change your diet or whatever. You got to do some things. And that's the same thing on this journey. That's the same thing. It's like you still got to do some things. You still got to do some things. It's like, I would love to tell you that you can sit and meditate all day long and don't do nothing, and money would just flow to you. Okay, so if that happens, please let me know so I can please let me know so that I can switch up some things. Because I've done that, and yeah, that didn't happen. And another thing I'm guided to tell you guys is that make sure that you are looking at your past just to see where you've been, but not focusing on your past and not staying in that energy, because that's what so many of us do. We focus on our we focus on our past and we stay in that past energy instead of moving on. I have a card that says detach and move on, and that was like the most perfect card in the planet. I think it was so freaking amazing, but it's so real. Detach and move on. Leave it alone. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Many times it has nothing to do with you. So leave it alone. Shut it down. Leave it in the past. That's why it's called the past. That's why the present is called the present. One of the books that was so powerful for me to read that helped me in that area was The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. That was a good book. I actually didn't read it. I actually listened to it. Which, I mean, that counts, right? Because I listened to a lot of books, but that was one that really helped me. That one, and then The Big Leap. And I can't think of what that guy's name is. His name was Gay something, but the book was called The Big Leap, and it was phenomenal. Matter of fact, I have listened to that, I think, 2 or 3 times. Might be time for me to listen to it again since I'm talking about it. But that one, and then another book that is so fire, and I listened to it too on YouTube, The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. That is so powerful, y'all. If you listen to it, if you sit and listen, now it's probably a couple of hours the book is, and it's on YouTube, but you can listen to it in pieces, because that's what I usually do. Like, I try to listen to some part of it every day, because it really does help to get you in the mindset to be able to receive and to understand that good things do come to you. Good things do come to you. But you got to do some things too. You got to speak some things out of your mouth. You got to stand in your power. You got to align your solar plexus chakra so that you can stand in your power. You can stand in your power. So thank y'all for joining me. I also have Bach flower remedies, and I am doing consultations on that to help you, because typically You can do it in a lot of different ways, but the way that I'm doing it now is according to the chakra. So, like if you are having issues with security, that's going to be your root chakra. Like you're worrying about whether you have enough money to eat, or you have enough gas, or you have a car, or you have all these things that are security issues. Then you might want to get some for your root chakra. And what bot flower remedies are, they're gentle with you. So they don't have side effects or anything like that. And it's an easy thing. So like it happens, it's not like medicine where, you take a ibuprofen or something and you just in an hour you feel better. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's a gradual, subtle thing shift that happens. It's a gradual, subtle shift. So you have to be in the mindset and be ready to receive. And that's one of the things also that I say as far as my affirmations. I am open to receive. I'm open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. So when you do that, then you share with God, source, spirit, the universe, that you're open to receive. All right, I got one little story to tell y'all. It's so funny. So I actually had a lunch, or actually it was a happy hour. I had a happy hour with a friend of mine today, and we have been trying to get together for a while. And she's a little bit older than I am, but she's such a sweet spirit, and I love her. And so we got together and had some lunch, and she proposed something that was amazing. Matter of fact, I'm already working on it for us to collaborate on. It was awesome because she's an awesome Reiki master, I think. So anyway, I had done this healing and this meditation with this guy on YouTube, and he said to ask your spiritual team for a sign. And he said, and you say what the sign is. And so I said, I want to see a butterfly. Show me a butterfly. And so where I live at, you don't often see them. I don't know if it's because I live in the city, I don't know, but maybe other places outside of the city where it's more, rural, they may have butterflies more readily. But here I rarely see them. And so I said, I want to see a butterfly. How about we go up in Applebee's? Because that's where we went. Go up in Applebee's and I look at her and I see, what do I see? Butterflies in her hair. Butterflies. I was like, oh, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Butterflies in her hair. And that was what I asked to see. So see, God's source, spirit, universe is always listening to us. And they'll always bring us what we desire and what we need and what we the validation that we need, because that's what that was for me. It was like, okay, are y'all listening to me? Because that's what I need to know. And I don't know about nobody else, but that's how I talk to my team. I said, what y'all doing? I mean, y'all sleep on the job. You need to get up and do, take care of this for me. That kind of thing. And so when I saw those butterflies, though, y'all, it was like, oh my God, look at this. Look at this. And nobody else had to know even what it was about. I did share with my friend, but nobody really had to know what it was about. But I knew. And it just lit me up. And I got so excited because I was able to see, what I spoke out that I desire to see as a result of the connection with my spirit team. Come on with me, somebody. Come on with me, somebody. Ain't that what they say at church? Come on with me, somebody. So I am just super grateful. And I'm super grateful, that you guys have hung out with me today. This has been fabulous. Like I said, I will be back on definitely tomorrow. More than likely, it will be in the afternoon because I have to go to the doctor in the morning. So it'll probably be in the evening, probably after 5, I'm thinking. Yeah, probably so. Yeah, that'll probably be better. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging out. And I hope that y'all got value from this. And if you have any questions or anything, you can always, thank you, Angie. You can always comment. And I really try hard to go back and look at the comments, y'all. I do. Doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. And you know what else? I got to find out. It's something I need to do. Okay, that one did. It's something I need to do to try to keep the comments too, because a lot of times when you do a live, you can't go back and get the comments. So I think there's a setting that I need to look at. But y'all, I'm in school. I'm in YouTube University. I'm learning all about how to work Canva, make it work for me and stuff like that, and how to optimize these videos, so that I can monetize, because that is where I'm going with this. I'm also doing affiliates, working with some of those. So yeah. And I'm also in school for real, working on my master's. So again, thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Angie, you are amazing. Girl, yeah, yeah. We'll do it. Because you know what? It's always fun when you have somebody that you can talk to. That's cool, especially that likes to geek out on this stuff. So again, thank y'all for joining me. Like I said, I'm not going to be like the preacher and close down 500 times and don't ever close. So I'm going to pop on off here because I want to finish my anniversary cake. Oh, I got anniversary cake because we have already been celebrating our anniversary, and our anniversary is on the 25th. So if you guys would like to send me something, I got a Cash App in the description. You can do that. I got PayPal in the description. However you want to do it, you can do it. So, but anyway, yeah. So we are celebrating our anniversary, and we have been for the month. And my son's birthday is also on my anniversary, which is the 25th. So I already sent him a card and sent him his money and everything. For those of you that don't know, I send my children birthday cards, them and now their spouses. Birthday cards, and I send them however old they're turning. Like my son will be 32, so I'm sending him $32. My new daughter just turned 28. I sent her $28. But I also sent her some earrings, and I also sent her a bath soak. And I did the same thing with my son and his fiance. I sent her a card because she graduated from college. She got her associate's degree. Exactly. Yes. So she got her associate's degree. So and that's what we do. When somebody graduates, we bless them. Like I still have to bless my nephew because he graduated, and my sister told me don't worry about it until, when he get ready to go to college. And I was like, well, that ain't long. He going to college in what, August? It's almost July already. So I was like, so I'll send him something on his Cash App and bless him. So anywho, thank you so much for joining me. And I am going to pop off here, but I will definitely be back on tomorrow. And Angie, hit me up and let's do a collab. Let's do a collab. We can do a Facebook Live. We can go on TikTok if you have 1,000. Just let me know what it is that you want to do. Instagram if you like that. I don't do a lot of Instagram because, like I said before, Instagram hasn't always been really kind to me, and people just don't show up, and I don't have time to play games with people. So again, I go where I'm celebrated and not tolerated. And I suggest that we all do the same. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. And like I said, I will be back on tomorrow. And I'm actually going on TikTok tomorrow to do some channeling and some intuitive guidance if you are on there and you want to come and jump in. So I'll be on there tomorrow. I'm going to start going on there a few times a week doing that. So if that's something, you got that right. Yes, I hear you, honey. Turn up the lights. I actually just turned this one on. I should have turned the one over here on, but I just didn't do it yet. But tomorrow is another day. So again, thank you for hanging out. Peace and love. Bye now.